Yeah. You
Go
want
to
a
the
couple
friend.
people with you that are going to watch your back and vice versa, man. I've already got people here that think the same way I do and are ready to fucking take a stand when the day comes, dude. I got three guys in this town that said the same thing that I've said. They're not going to fucking die on their knees,
No,
or I'll die standing up, buddy.
no, and I ain't gonna go until I take one with me.
Well, I hope I can take one, maybe two. Two would be great, you know, but even one. Hopefully, it never comes to that point, but I wouldn't be surprised to get there real soon, buddy. Honestly,
It's
the way I see things going
dude.
on the planet right now,
Okay,
it's
let's look at it.
everybody's
Let's look
talking
at it
about war.
politically. Let's look at it society and politics, okay? Those two are very much on the same plane, okay? If we were to look at a graph, okay, politics and society are kind of the same, one and the same, only because politics so deeply control government, so deeply controls society. The U.S. is about to throw the socialists out of government next week. The U.S. is about to use the military to jail and basically move them into the Cuban tent cities that were fenced in under the freeways in Florida. Remember that? Birth of the
Hmm.
movie Scarface, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When boatloads of Cubans came over and there was nowhere for them to go, and the government, in the time it took to process them, built tent cities and fenced it in like a fucking prison,
Hmm.
right? What do you
Hmm.
think they're going to do along the Mexican border? They're going to fence
Exactly.
it. Yeah, they're going to build a
Exact
great
same thing.
big fenced in prison and a tent city, and that's where all these immigrants are going to live. And they're not immigrants, they're invaders.
Invaders, and they're, what do you think's going to happen at the U.S. border here? Fucking Trump is drawing a line in the sand. He's fucking serious about this. He's deploying fucking thousands of fucking troops to the border. These people aren't coming into the country, Duke.
No,
This is fucking crazy, crazy
there's
going on down there.
70,000 troops between U.S. military and what's the state National Guard. Between the
I
U.S.
didn't,
military and National Guard, which are basically state-controlled military, right? Because
I didn't hear 70,000. I heard the biggest figures I've heard were around 8,000 troops been deployed. But I guess if you factored in the National Guard, but I was watching it this morning, and Trump says that, well, the four reports I read, there's about a total of 8,700 deployed now at the border, and more on their way,
yeah,
is
but
what
that's
they're
what I'm
saying.
getting at is the total deployment is it that's available to them is 70,000.
Well, they're not coming
They
into the country. They're drawing a
exactly
line in the sand, and they have to. This
ex-
is a fucking turning point right now, Duke. If that's
exactly.
just allowed to come in, the country's fucked. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where do you think they would
So
come if they
guess
got
what's
across the
so
border?
guess
If they
what
got across the border into the States, where do you think they would head?
right
The
here.
fucking caravan would just keep going till they hit fucking Quebec.
Yeah,
And Trudeau
because
would be sitting there with the flags out and the welcome
but
mat.
that's because Canada is being used as a military staging zone for the war in the United States.
Yeah, don't tell that to Canadians, though, Duke. They'll call you nuts.
Well, not the
They'll
ones
think
that are awake,
you're
dude. Not the ones that are awake.
a staging ground. Uh, put that around at the coffee shop. Okay. No, I'm trying to be funny here, dude. It's not
I
working, but I'm
know.
trying to be funny. No, seriously. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm also aware of the factors and the cells that are operating in Canada right now. I talk to a lot of people in a lot of different places, and some of the stuff I hear, I'd like to be able to vet it properly and make sure it's true. But if half the shit I'm hearing is true, um, there's some serious stuff going on in Canada, and of course, this is all being covered by the government. And
Yeah.
if you control the, I mean, you got to think about how many people are involved with fucking Justin Trudeau. How many traitors do we have in this country right now? Dude, they all need to be weighted out right from the top to the bottom because anybody that's collaborating with Justin Trudeau right now is a traitor to the country. So we're talking the
Here's a
RCMP, the
list for
military.
you to start. Here's a list for you to
Unbelievable.
start with. Every single member of the Privy Council Start with that list. Every single member of the Privy Council. You know why?
Because they're all sworn to the same agenda, my friend.
Yeah.
I know. I know that, Duke.
Including dear Mr. Bernier.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about Maxime Bernier these. I don't know. I'm glad. The only thing that's good that's coming out of this right now, as far as I can see, is another voice in Canada that Canadians are going to be able to hear, whether they like what they hear or not. It's his platform is a good platform. Every politician's got fucking baggage, man. I'm the
He's
jury
a
with me with
professional
Maxime.
politician. He's not a
He is a
businessman.
professional.
That's the difference. Donald Trump was never, ever a politician.
Yeah,
He was a businessman.
yeah, I know. Big difference.
Go
Well, then
watch.
maybe I
I've
should run for
posted
prime
it.
minister. I'm gonna
I'm
run for
not
prime
sure.
minister.
You know what? I should play it for you. I have recently, just yesterday, I think it was on my Facebook, I posted a video about, oh, I gotta find it in my From YouTube channel. I gotta look through here and find this. Here it is. Q. The plan to save the world.
I've seen that video.
Have you? Go
Yeah,
watch
I
it
saw that.
again. Go watch
I'll
it
watch it
again.
again. I'll go watch it again, but I did watch that once, man. It came up and I watched it.
It's
I follow a lot of Q stuff.
it's probably the most
Logical.
logical, down to earth.
I
Your
agree.
average construction worker can follow
Type.
the logic in it.
I agree.
Okay? That's the sort of message that needs to go out. Because it's what John Q. Public can understand.
Yeah, it's kind of right on the bottom where you can relate to it because it talks about things that are directly affecting your life,
Yeah.
and it makes people understand that what's going on, how it's affecting them, and they don't even realize it. It gets people thinking. It really does. I'll tell you what's got people thinking is like, a lot of people I talked to 9/11 about for years, right? Well, there's that one little video that I posted here on my fucking page the other day on the blowing up of the tower. And really, anybody that fucking has any questions ever about 9/11 just got to study that for 5 minutes
Yep.
and tell me you don't see it blowing up in front of your face. No other logical explanation, period. And even a person that's thought all their lives that fucking these buildings just collapsed by themselves, we know that's impossible. Everything that happened that day is impossible. But that video has gotten a lot of fucking attention.
A
So
few
I
years
know it's an
ago.
old subject, but I keep bringing it back up with people.
Now,
That's how
I'm
it's changed
thinking
everything.
back. This has got to be 2009, maybe 2008. I helped a buddy of mine here in St. Catharines, in Portaluzzi, in fact. Hang on. Excuse me. I helped a buddy of mine in Portaluzzi pick out some soundtrack. He put together a video that showed controlled demolitions of all kinds of different shaped buildings, big tall
Yep.
ones, stadiums.
Yep.
It showed the demolition of the Denver Stadium, right?
Yep. Yep.
And he spliced in pictures of the Twin Towers coming down,
Yep.
one at a
Identical.
time, and
Yeah.
building, what is it,
7.
Building 7, right next
Yeah.
door, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How it dropped in its own footprint.
Yeah.
Completely undamaged by the airplanes or any
I know.
falling debris.
I know. I studied it for years, dude.
Just spontaneously. It was
Yeah.
an amazing video. And unfortunately, the hard drive that I had it saved on died. And it was an old video format that I doubt would even be able to work nowadays. But I wish it could, because that's something I should actually spend some time remaking. Because this was only about maybe a little bit over a minute a minute long, like maybe a minute 10, a minute 15.
There's still videos like that available on YouTube right now. There's a couple. If you go and look, you'll find them on YouTube about controlled demolitions, and then comparisons to, of course, Building 7 is the best example, because Building 7, you can actually see the center of the building collapse. You can see the free fall, you can see the spliffs, you can see the windows explode.
Yep.
And for it to come down in 7.8 seconds in its own footprint, free fall, faster than free fall, means that every column in that building had to be jeopardized at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And that can only be done through demolition. And anybody that studies it at all, I've got probably since I started, 9/11 is what woke me up, dude. That was one night I sat, my buddy said, Barry, you got to go on the internet and look at this video. And I said, okay, I'll go look at it. And that was 9/11 Architects of Truth. And I sat there at night on my computer, Duke, and my whole fucking life changed in one night. I have not been the same since, because up to that point, I was kind of, I've heard a little bit about 9/11 being an inside job, but I really haven't paid too much attention to it. But I sat down and watched that video. That was about 9 years ago now, and it fucking changed my life, buddy. It did. And then I was down the rabbit holes for the next 30 days. You couldn't get me off and fucking in front of that computer. I was down every fucking rabbit hole, watching every bit of information I could, and all I could say to myself for the next 30 days was, holy fuck, are we in trouble? That was my turning point, buddy.
Dude, it was 9/11.
For me.
It was 9/11, and it was 10 years ago, 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, that led me to join up on Reddit, and Reddit led me to 4chan.
Yeah.
And the things I found out about just listening to people talk and then go Google something, right? When you look at the cash flow and who owns what and who made what laws where,
who put what insurance policy on what buildings 3 fucking months prior to the
9/11 is nothing, dude. It's nothing. The British Crown, the Queen of England and her family are filthy rich from the worldwide heroin trade off the opium fields in Cambodia.
Right.
You wouldn't believe how much evidence there is to that. Oh, there you are. Now you're live.
All the way from British Columbia, buddy. I'm aware of that, Duke. I've actually gone down that rabbit hole. There isn't anything I've researched more in my life than 9/11. I've
so what do you think?
Probably 200 hours.
What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when Trump and company take out the cabal that includes the British royal family?
Right. They're all going to come down.
What
do you
think is going to happen to
England? All hell's going to break loose. And the new... Hey, here's for you, bud. I'm sending it to you. Take those, please.
Here, wait. I'll reach out.
Here. Got them? That's a gift. Okay, roll them up.
There.
Roll them up.
Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that?
Did you send me one?
Oh, wait.
You haven't got a camera on, buddy.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
I see is,
my
all
camera's
I see is a masked man.
Yeah, my camera's on for OBS. I'm recording this. You talked me into recording it, so.
What, we're recording this right now?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you should have let me know how to put on a suit and tie, man. Fuck's sakes.
Well, you mentioned it, and I got thinking, yep, you know what? I'm just going to start recording it.
Well, 9/11 to me, Duke, is just is a real indication of the state of our society. Because for this lie to still be going on and the people responsible for not hanging from the end of a rope right now just shows you how much cover-up and how much bullshit's going on inside our governments, that these guys have not been held accountable.
I agree.
Why has there not been an independent Trump? When he was platforming for his election, man, he said, this is the one thing that made me stand up and take notice of Trump. He made a statement that he was going to launch an independent investigation into 9/11.
Yeah.
If he became president. And that promise disappeared. So what does that tell you? Trump is just a fucking puppet. man. He's a puppet, right to the core. Trump is doing what he is being told to done. At one point, I really wanted to believe that guy was for real, Duke. But the more I see what's going on, it really is very reminiscent of 1934 Germany, and exactly how Hitler came to power and how he stood against the establishment, and everybody went yeah, 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 and where that ended up going. If Donald Trump ever gets martial law declared in the United States of America, everything could go south, and there would be fuck all the Americans could do about it. Nothing. So you could see a government flip on you in 24 hours, and tell me that can't
Yeah.
happen. And they're deceiving the people right now. He's rallying the troops. He's got everybody going, yeah, 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 greatest president ever in
He
U.S. history. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going to save us, Donald.
he's
But buddy,
building a tidal wave, or maybe
of
a better
course,
description is he's building an avalanche.
of sheeple that are going to support him no matter what he says.
The avalanche has yet to indicate which mountain it's coming down and what
Yeah,
valley it's going to end up in.
bingo. And this
That's
is what
why
I try to tell. This is what I try to tell people that
another
all.
reason why I tell people buy a gun, learn how to use it, and teach your family.
You want to see mine?
No, that's okay.
Okay, I shouldn't put them up on fucking
No.
Skype. They're knocking on my door.
Yeah, nice.
Shh! Don't say that, Barry. Don't say that. I don't. I was just kidding. I was just kidding, Mr. RCMP officer. I don't really possess that.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, and you must find it in my possession.
You must find it, and you're never gonna find it, my friend. But you know what? If the time ever comes, Duke, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that feel the same way. If the time ever comes, I'm gonna have to stand on my feet till I die, man.
Yep.
And I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good bush guy, and I got full camouflage, and I got some good spots. And they can come and find me, and when they do, I'll put up a fight. You should come out to BC, man.
When I
You
was
should just move your whole family out here, Duke.
when I was a kid, the two kids I grew up with, they lived next door to us, one house over. Their dad was nowhere to be seen. He was in jail for a long time. And back then there was like welfare was like $50 a month kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Baby bonus was like $20 a month for each kid. He learned how to hit a pheasant in the head with a slingshot by the time he was, or not a sling, yeah, like a
Slingshot,
pullback
yeah,
and slingshot,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
By the time we were 8 years old, him and I were hunting pheasant with slingshots,
Perfect.
field
Perfect.
dressing them and bringing them home because that was the only way him and his mom and his brother had any food.
Fuck. Well, nothing
White
wrong with that child.
privilege,
Nothing wrong with
white
that
privilege,
childhood,
right?
man. Yeah, of course. We are such a privileged race now. Fuck. We're on the bottom of the fucking totem pole, buddy. Fuck. Unbelievable. Look at some of the shit that's
We're the
going on.
dirt that's holding the fucking totem pole up.
I know. Well, one of these days, the shit's gonna hit the fan, Duke. I know that. I've
It's
said it
coming
many
real
times.
soon, Barry.
Yeah, I don't want to, sometimes I'll get pushback from people from saying that, but you know what? I know, Duke, in my heart,
Then
without a
say
doubt.
it.
I base it on three or four things right now that I really see are happening. And of course, I'm a religious guy, and I really follow biblical prophecy and what it says about this particular time, the rise of evil, how the devil is going to run absolutely rampshot on our planet. His power is going to be so immense that the battle is going to be one of either the evil wins or the good wins.
Yep.
But we see what the devil's doing right now in the world, and I call him the devil because that's what he is. But Lucifer, whatever you call him,
Well,
the dark side,
I,
man. But you got to be
if
realistic about what
if
you
you
see
want to
going
put
on
a
in our
name to
society.
it, if you want to put a name to it, it's evil. That's
It's
all
evil.
it is. It
Okay,
is
whatever you
evil.
want to call it.
It
It's
is
evil
evil.
manifested.
Yeah, it is evil manifested in the hearts of man.
Mm.
Okay?
What
And
is
the
making that
Bible
evil?
tells you about that. The
Of
Bible
course it
tells
does.
you that evil, just like good, just like love and peace, both exist within man. And if one is allowed to manifest and permeate and grow, it will overpower the other. And that's what has happened. The
Of course.
evil within man is what we see doing. Listen to the Q video.
Look at
When
anything that's gone on
criminals
in our
have
society in the
power.
last 30 years. Look at
Yeah.
it all. Look at the rise of porn, man. Look what porn does to families. Look how destructive pornography is. You never hear about that. All you hear is about these porn stars, man, and how that's glamorized
How
in
they're
our
going to
society and
speak
how
out against
children.
a possible Supreme Court judge
Yeah, and you know, look at how they
or a
sexualize our
president.
children, man. The whole Disney's been sexualizing our children subversively for years and years and years and
Yeah.
years. You know, and then you look at where we're at now. Our kids are fucking out of control. Our families are falling apart. Marriage is a thing of the past. Divorce rates are through the roof. Everybody's fucking around on everybody else because that's what propagated on TV as the thing to do. Be cool, go out and fuck somebody at the office. Oh, she'll drop her pants for you. Give her a bang. Oh, go home and tell your wife at the end of the day you love her. Don't worry about the venereal disease you happen to bring into the house. That was an accident, man.
Oops.
But our society has gone right down the fucking tubes. It has. All
So stop
sectors of our
fighting
society.
so hard to save it.
Hey, listen, there's people right now, Duke, that are seeking a better life. They're seeking a
Good.
better way.
Good.
They're seeking something better in their life than evil. There's people
Then
out there that are
then
really starting to seek that because they see it.
stop letting them think they can convert evil to good. Leave the evil to be evil. It will expose itself and karma will deal with it.
Well, you know, the Bible says, Duke, that millions will be led astray, and the road that we take right now is a very narrow road. But I
Yes.
know realistically in my life, I see everything that's happening right now. I see the journey I've been through in my life. I know what kind of man I was earlier in my life, how bad some things I did in my life were, and you know what? That person doesn't exist in my life anymore. I can't even visualize who I was earlier in my
I
life,
I
but it's
have
all
a
been a part. It's all been part of me growing up and being who I am today. But you know that burden, buddy, that guilt I've had for some of the things I've done in my life, buddy, it doesn't exist on my shoulders anymore. It's gone. It really has gone. It's just not there anymore. It's like a thing of the past. That's another person. It's a
I
totally
said to
different person.
someone, actually I said it, I'll tell you who I said it to. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1992, and I said to a man, I have done a great many things in my life, some of which I am extremely proud of, some of which I am not so proud of, but I have never done anything I am ashamed of.
Hmm.
And that man that I was talking to was at the time the governor of the state of New Mexico.
Hmm. Well, there is things earlier in my life that I did in criminal life of mine that I am ashamed of, but I don't
No,
bear that burden. I don't bear that burden anymore. I
I
don't. It was part of my life. I don't. You know, at this point in my life, I can't explain who that person was back then, but that person doesn't exist anymore. So it's kind of like just gone. I don't even think about it anymore. Part of the
no,
past.
even
Got to
even
go forward.
even back when I lived on two wheels. No, nothing I did I'm ashamed of. I might not be proud of it,
Okay, there's
but
the
I'm
better
not
word. I'm not
ashamed
proud.
of it.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
Well, I'm not
It's
proud of some of the
something
things I
I
did in my life.
had to. Hey, I'm not proud of the fact that I grew up having to kill pheasants for my buddy to eat. I'm not proud of the fact that well, maybe in a way I am, but other kids had it easier than me. My first job was in the slaughterhouse of my dad's meat packers
Wow,
when I was 11 years old. Okay?
not a good job.
Well, I was separating cow intestines from the web of fat that hold them together.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was my first job. Welcome to the working world at age 11.
I'm
Yep,
gonna turn my
honest.
camera off here for a few minutes
Yeah, that's
so I
okay.
can smoke. I gotta get going here in a minute, Duke. I got shit that I'm supposed to do. My daughter
Well,
just messaged me, and I gotta go help my daughter with fucking boxes. She needs boxes, so I
I'm
gotta take
I'm
boxes over
here
for
for
her to move.
I'm here for the rest of the night when you get back.
I'll be back. I'm gonna be gone for about an hour or so, and then I'll be back around here.
All right.
So maybe we continue a chat later on.
All right. Think about 2 hours with Kevin and Rick.
Yeah, I could ask my. Well, I haven't got anybody. Did put a feeler out to Dean Clifford about Sunday because I really wanted to get him in. He is a fucking super dude, man. You got to meet this guy. I mean, you would love the conversations you'll get in with that man. I kind of put a feeler out for him for the second hour, but if he doesn't want to do an hour on Sunday, maybe I'll ask my producer and see if Kevin and Rick are down for a couple hours.
Okay.
We could always open up the show to calls too, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it with me. I got to run out for about an
Yeah. Well,
hour and a bit, and I'll be back.
give me enough advance notice that I can start promoting it.
Okay.
Because I'll give people my phone number. Like they can call me and I'll tell them this is how you contact the show, or give me the show's number and they can call the show. I'll
Yeah,
put the number out.
It'll be an American number. That's the only problem.
Oh
So I'll
well.
call a Yankee number, but it's not a big deal. Most people have calling to the States.
Yeah.
If not, it's 10 cents a minute or something. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, I'll let you go, but I will be back in a bit.
All right, bud.
Okay. Bye bye.
Ciao.